All right, so we've had just a mid-phase heyday, and I'm going to pull my hair back, and we're going to work microcurrent on just the cheek area. And this is super fun. This is a great, quick treatment you can do um, before you go out, before you put on makeup, something that's just simple. You don't really have to think about it. I'm going to put on my gel and put that on. I don't know why I put it on my whole face. I'm so used to it, but we're just going to be working the cheek area. And it's a very simple, quick program that complements today's routines and everything we did. So I'm actually just going to start out on one, and exactly like we've been doing, the theme has been kind of starting with lighter and then going to heavier. And I'm sandwiching it right in here. And I love doing this because we just generated so much blood flow. So the current is just going to be able to penetrate the skin. It's going to be able to kind of go in and work on that area. And now I'm just going to go up. We're going to do that again. We're going to do a series of 3 of those. So this time we're holding for about 30 seconds and then we're flushing up. Got, I have flies in here. I don't know what the flies are doing, but they sure are noisy today. Okay, and now let's flush it up. And let's do it one more time. Kind of holding. And this just kind of helps get everything going. And we're going to flush up right into that temple. And now where I was here, I'm going to go to the front right by that nose and underneath the eye. And I'm going to hold for 30 seconds. I love this because this is just kind of stimulating the lymphatics, stimulating all the little tiny muscles underneath the eye, as well as the zygomatic majors and minor. And now we're going to flow up. And we're going to come back down right underneath this eye. And holding it is just something that just makes so much sense. We don't like to do it, but it's so necessary. And drawing back up. And one more time, holding. The longer you hold, you feel different sensations. And drawing up. And now we're going to go to the other side, kind of folding right outside. And just see how lifted this is. I love microcurrent and the Anma. Makes me feel young. My birthday's this month, and lately I've just been like, oh my God, am I getting old? And come up. You don't feel old, but it's kind of like your kids get older and you kind of feel like you stayed the same age. It just miraculously somehow they got 25 years older, and you're like, oh yeah, but I'm still young. But then you realize you're old too. Just holding for 30 seconds. And roll up. And now we're going to do just the 4 probes underneath the eye, right underneath. And dragging back underneath the eye. I just love that. I had my nose broken so many times, it always kind of goes to this angle. So I've really been working getting those fascial adhesions out from this area that holds it to the sides, and it certainly takes a while. And swish it back and underneath the eye. Feels good, doesn't it? Kind of holding. You also have this little muscle in here, so that's really helping with that. And pulling it back. Now we're going to switch to the lifting program. And I'm going to apply a little bit more gel on this area. Just giving all of this, everything. It's like, when you think about the logic of what we're doing, it makes so much sense because, you know, you've heard me talk about how fascia is like the fishnet hose, and the pockets of skin, kind of the visible skin underneath that hosiery, are your cells. And so it's been known more and more as the extracellular matrix. And when we start to increase the health and the vitality of the extracellular matrix, this makes for healthier cells. So in reality, it's really the health of our fascia is maybe the fountain of youth versus just being cell. And so when we first go in and we're doing the body release, we're releasing these adhesions all over our body. But, you know, more importantly, when we release them on the face, we're freeing up cells that have been, pulling you back, trapped, and cells that have not been able to get food and nourishment and circulation. So everything really changes for this cell, but this isn't something that can be done just once. It's not like you're just taking this magic pill and you're just getting, you know, forever change. This is a lifestyle change, and it's something that you have to continually do for the rest of your life if you want to look good. You can always not, and you can just kind of just play the Russian roulette and see how you're going to be aging. But when you have the ability and you have the knowledge and you know you can really change things, why not be proactive instead of reactive? I mean, a facelift is amazing, but maybe you can prolong, you know, if you get a facelift, it results for 15 years versus just 5. I mean, the body will always win. There's no shortcut to health or youth. So we're on our 3rd little session. We're going to be fanning it in about 10 seconds, just kind of holding that cheek right in that area. And so we're just optimizing the cells that we just freed from all of that fascial adhesion underneath the cheekbone. Now we're going right into the eye area. This is just so great. Just stimulating all of that space. If you have probes, like the myolift probes, you would just set one here and one on the other side. And we're just holding. And we're just going to sweep up and then hold. And it just feels really good. I don't know if you guys can feel it or what machine you have, but it's definitely just going in and toning all of this area underneath the eye, bringing circulation, decreasing the lymphatic congestion. For about 10 more seconds. And swishing. And the last time, and boy, I really start to feel it. Just feels so good. It's coming in. And swishing out. Now we're going to go to the other side. Kind of holding it down. And what we're doing is we've sent hydrogen and hydroxyl electrons all in there. So the cool thing is microcurrent works for 3 days. So we're still activating all of the hydrogen in the jaw and in the neck area and now in the cheek area. And we're really just able to replenish and restore, all of the structural integrity of the collagen and the elastin. And swish, hold. It feels so good in here. We held that last one for a minute, but who's counting, right? Just kind of holding this. We'll just hold this one for the same amount of time and then we'll swish it up. We'll be good. I'm focused on this fly in my room. It just keeps flying around. I'm surprised it hasn't just sat on my shoulder. It's been so annoying. Okay, now we are going to swish up and we're going to go do the 4 right underneath the eye. I love to get that little muscle along that nose. A lot of times when we do a lot of Botox around the crow's feet, you start to get these bunny lines. And, you really want to work releasing a lot of that. If you are a Botox person, which is totally fine, there's no judgment because I do it too. But what I try to do is I try to let it all go and then kind of restore all my normal facial movements and then go back in. And I'm not saying it's easy because we do look different when we don't have Botox, but I really try to just take it down now to like once every 6 months if I'm going to do it, because it just seems like we start to just look differently and our muscles start to record different movements and soon we don't even look the same. Our smiles aren't the same. We just have different looks and it's really crazy what happens. Let's hold. Again, that was for a minute. So we're just going to hold this for 30 seconds and then we're done. I mean, isn't that great? Just to be done. It was a quick workout. This is something you could do in the morning. I know this is a lot for some of you, but if you just do it and see the change, it's really motivating. Couple more seconds. And we're going to go ahead. And now let's just kind of take the probe up, moving one more time. And that completes our Wednesday cheek, mid-face, fascial release, onma release, and microcurrent treatment. See you on Thursday.